and it is quite unfortunate. It's really quite unfortunate, and this is a matter that will not be left to lie like this.
Mtoto wangu ni mtoto mmoja, hakuna msichana, hakuna mvulana hata nyuma yake. Nimeteseka na huyo mtoto huko Pwani nikiwa kwa Kwale yatima miaka 20, ili mtoto akapokea shahada ya degree hapo Pwani University.
Honestly, today I did not have the psyche to do any other video, and I know most of you can tell from my face. And the reason being, it is this video that I've done here today. The clip I've just played, that's a father who is literally crying for the loss of his son. And this son, the most unfortunate thing, he did not die in the hands of thugs. He died in the hands of the police officers. And despite of it being very clear, up to now there's no one who has been arrested. There's no name that has been mentioned. And the father is crying bitterly. How does William Ruto feel when he watches this kind of a father crying? In the name of that, the alleged Eliud Lagat was behind the arrest of this gentleman. It's very sad that at this point, a father is crying for his son losing his life in the hands of the police, in the hands of the police officers. I personally feel like I'm pained about this. It does not even give me the psyche to proceed to do other videos going forward. It's because I feel like, what strength do we have while other youths are getting killed? That is not fair. Killing of youths, it's not the best thing that can happen for these people, for this country. Now, when you move back and ask yourself, what did this youth do that he deserved to die? Probably it's a tweet. Who is not corruption? Right now, if you decide to tweet corruption, our police officers would be number 1, if not number 2. Then how is it that I'm hearing that he had made a tweet that was implicating a police officer being corrupt. Which police officer in this country is not corrupt as we speak today? And then that he has accused you a very painful thing to an extent you feel like killing him? That is not the way life can be. That's not the way things can be done. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak today, this is a painful story that we need not to see at this point. But however, I cannot forget the fact that when the broad-based government was formed, there were issues that were put in place. Issues that were to be addressed by the broad-based government. And that is why I'm doing this video here today. Why? Because the broad-based government is the one in charge, and the gentleman who has died is from the broad-based region, Luo Nyanza, where actually we had the Madaraka Day happening ceremonies recently, and the people, the youths of Homa Bay County slept in the stadium in love with William Ruto, slept in support of William Ruto to wait and see him the following morning and cheer him up. And when these people are doing that, if they had hope, how does it feel when now one of them is being murdered by the same government? That is very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. And as we speak today, we also hear from Kisi here, another person who was also arrested with the same. So, ladies and gentlemen, being from the broad-based government, Raila Amolo Odinga, being from the youth being from the broad-based region, Raila Amolo Odinga has betrayed his supporters once again. Once again, I'm not even doing this video for subscription. I'm just passing the message across that it is not fair for youths to be killed. It's not fair at all. Now look at this. Raila Amolo Odinga and his team had 10-point agenda that they were presented to President William Ruto, or maybe they had jointly agreed on to deal with as far as the broad-based government is concerned. And one of these things that were also touched on, it was broad-based, it was the abductions and extrajudicial killings. Now, recently we had abduction. Now we are talking about extrajudicial killing. Now, why is it that they are allowing extrajudicial killing to occur? Yet it is one of the things that brought together the formation of ODM and UDA government. As we speak today, Raila Amolo Odinga, recently, they ensured that the people who were behind Ongondowere's death were captured. These people were not police officers. They were common mananchi. These were common mananchi who were just thugs. And these people were arrested. Within some hours, these people were arrested. And they used the CCTV and all the arsenals of the government to ensure that these people have been apprehended. Now, this gentleman, he died within the police station. He was hit. Actually, there are allegations that his head was with so many bruises. He had been hit seriously several times in the head. And the information we have that even his shoulders was also hurt. an indication that there was torture before his death. So ladies and gentlemen, when we see this kind of an incident occurring, and then a police officer is simply transferred, what does that mean? What does that mean? Now, you know, that kind of a death, it is not the best that someone should face, because this is the government entrusted to protect the people's lives. Now, the broad-based government, after having the people who killed Ong'ong'o on board, now, the police officers, they know who had captured these people from Luo Nyanza. They took them to Nairobi, and they are known. Why are these people not arrested yet? To explain the death of this gentleman. The police station is known. The people involved were police officers. Why is it that the government is not able to arrest these people? Is it because they are not leaders like Ong'ong'o? They don't contribute money to ODM party the way Ong'ong'o did? Or they are not supporting Gladys Wanga the way Ong'ong'o did? Huh? Is it because that he does not fall within the political class? Is it because he's not a man from a rich background? Let me give you a brief history that I learned from that parent for those who did not watch the news. The parent was saying that he was working in a quarry to educate this gentleman in a university, Pwani University. He went to school and I think eventually became a teacher in Voi. So he has just came home to say hi to his parents. Now, the expectations were that the moment this gentleman grows up, he becomes the person to change the family. He brings at least something to the father, the mother, and at least change the home. But now, when he's at the height of his prosperity, we find that he's being murdered. Not by the civilians thugs, by the police officers, allegedly. That is not the best way this country should operate. How does William Ruto feel in status? Now, to make matters more worse, the father is also saying that this was the only child. There was no sister, there was no brother. There were only three in their family. The mother, father, and him. Now, the father is asking a very simple question. At his age, how is he going to start to serve more kids again? Start raising from baby class all the way to university again? Does he have even that time on earth? You ask yourself, is this supposed to happen? What is this grievous mistake that this gentleman committed which could have resulted to his death? How many thugs do we have outside here? How many politicians have been implicated of wasting public funds that have been left to go freely as innocent Kenyans are getting killed? What is this grudge that President William Ruto and his entire government has against the youths of this country? Ladies and gentlemen, and this message should go to the older generations. When you see the youths in the streets, please give them water. When you see the youths say no to something, please give them water. Please support them. When you see the youths come and tell you, please don't elect this leader, kindly listen to them. Because if there's somebody who's going to be hurt by poor leadership in this country, they are the youths. You can see that the ones dying across. The killings generally are on the youths. When we had the demonstrations last year, the people who were majorly killed were youths. All of them. And as we speak today, the people being abducted, most of them are youths. There's no way you can exclude, because we are 70% of this country. Most of the things happening are revolving around us. So therefore, when the youths ask you for support, please listen to them. May the soul of Albert Ojwang rest in peace. And please, may God protect and give strength to that great family of the Mzee. See you next time for more videos. So sad.